Dear children, in this session we are going to see Unit 2 Prose Tsunami. In the name itself, you can identify that what is the story about. Yeah, it's about a tsunami. She is the author for this prose, The Tsunami. Sonali Dharnekola was born in 1964 at Colombo in Sri Lanka. She is a Sri Lankan memoirist and economist. She studied economics at Cambridge University and has a doctorate from the University of Oxford. She is on the faculty of Department of Economics at SOAS, University of London, and is a research scholar at Columbia University in New York City. She lives in New York City and London. She lost her two sons' husband, parents, best friend, and her best friend's mother in the Indian Ocean tsunami. The tsunami carried her 2 miles inland and she was able to survive by clinging to a tree branch. Now let's move on to the story. A tsunami is a long, high sea wave was caused by an earthquake or other disturbance. The 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and the tsunami affected Thailand and parts of India such as the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Tamil Nadu coast. The earthquake was the third largest ever recorded. The lesson shares a few accounts of people who used their wits and fortunately survived it courageously. This prose is divided into 3 parts. Each part deals with how a few people inspired others to help each other in difficult times when the tsunami hit different parts of the world. First part consists of 4 stories of people who faced the deadly tsunami on December 26, 2004. It discusses how the lives of different people who hailed from the Andaman and Nicobar archipelago were impacted by the effect of the dreadful tsunami. In the first story, Ignatius was a manager of a cooperative society in Kachal. His wife woke him up at 6 a.m. when she could sense a few tremors. However, it was not just a simple earthquake, it was the sea rising. A tsunami had struck that place. The waves were so huge that it swept away his family, including his wife, children, father in law, and brother in law. In the second story of part 2, a policeman named Sanjeev saved his family members, comprising his wife and his baby daughter, from the dangerous waves. However, he drowned while trying to rescue the guest house cook John's wife as the huge waves washed both of them away. The third incident of part 1 is about a 13-year-old girl, Meghna, who was swept away by the waves along with her parents and many other people. She was floating in the sea holding a wooden plank and was brought to shore by a wave. Although she was saved, she was completely dazzled as she walked on the seashore. The fourth story of part 1 is about Almas David, a 10-year-old girl. Her father had noticed that the seawater was receding after their tremors. He realized this was the sign of a bigger danger, so he warned everyone to take shelter in a safer place. While he was helping others, a huge wave came and washed away Alma's father, along with her grandfather. Slowly, her entire family was swept away, while Almas had climbed on a floating wooden log and fainted. When she woke up, she found herself in a hospital in Kamorta. She was so traumatized that she never talked about the incident with anyone. This is the gist of the prose tsunami part 1. Now let me explain about the 4 incidents happened in part 1 in detailed manner. Children, I already told about this chapter classified into 3 parts. The first part consists of 4 incidents during tsunami. Now let's see the first incident
The lesson begins with the narratives of people in the Andaman and Nicobar group of islands when it was hit by a tsunami on December 26, 2004. First is the account of a manager of the cooperative society in Kachal, one of the islands at Nicobar. His name was Ignatius. At around 6 in the morning, his wife felt an earthquake and she woke him up immediately. Ignatius kept the television set on the floor to prevent it from breaking by falling off the table. Then they immediately evacuated the house. Then the entire family rushed out of their house. However, as the tremors of the earthquake stopped, they were shocked to see the sea levels rising. They were utterly confused, not knowing what was happening. In this confusion, they started to run in a chaotic fashion. Half of his family members ran in one direction and others ran in the opposite direction. He never saw his wife, her father, brother, and his two children ever again. Perhaps they were swept away and were now dead. Luckily, his three children that accompanied him were saved. Now let's see the another incident. Second incident is about Sanjeev. Sanjeev was a policeman in the Kachal Island of the Nicobar group of islands. He managed to save himself, his wife, and his baby daughter from the waves. However, after he jumped into the sea, hearing the guest house cook John's wife screaming, he failed to save either the cook's wife or himself. Both of them got drowned in the gush of the waves. Next incident about Meghna. 13-year-old Meghna was swept away along with her parents and 77 other people. However, she kept floating in the sea for 2 days. For 2 days, she held on to a wooden door which kept her afloat and saved her. During these 2 days, several times she saw the rescue helicopters, but they couldn't see her. Later, she was brought to the shore by another very strong wave. Meghna was just 13 when she had to go through the pain of having lost her parents. 10 years old Almas Javed had lost both her parents as well as her grandfather. The last and the fourth incident of the first part is about Almas Javed. 10-year-old Almas Javed's father owned a petrol pump in Port Blair. There she studied at Carmel Convent. The family had come to her mother's home in the Nan Island, an island in the central part of the Nicobar Islands, to celebrate Christmas. On the day of the disaster, the whole family was sleeping when tremors came early in the morning. It was only when Alma's father saw the sea water move back. He anticipated that it would come back with an unusually great force. He immediately woke everyone up and hurried them to a secure place out of harm's way. As they ran out of harm's way, Alma's grandfather got hit by something and he fell down. In an attempt to give him a hand, Alma's father ran towards him. As the first enormous wave came, it took both of them with it. On the other hand, Alma's mother and aunts held on to the leaves of a coconut tree, calling for her. A strong wave came and took them with it too, as it uprooted the tree out of the ground. Almas climbed on a log of wood she saw before she fainted. As she regained consciousness, she found herself in a hospital in Kamorta, an island in Nicobar. The girl was brought to Port Blair and she is deeply shocked by the incident. She got distrusted to the extent that she did not want to discuss the episode with anyone. Children, that's all about the part 1, 4 incidents. Now let's move on to the word meaning for the part 1. See, the first one is tremor. Tremor means what? A slight shake. Earth tremors The earth shake during an earthquake. Okay. Next one is chaos, complete disorder or confusion. Next one is guest house, a private house offering accommodation to paying guests. The next one is relief helicopters, helicopters bringing help to people. Next one is daze, a state of stunned confusion or bewilderment. Next one is Port Blair. Port Blair is the capital city of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, a union territory of India in the Bay of Bengal. Next one is Non-Kaveri Island, an island in the central part of the Nicobar Islands. Next one is Recede, move back from where it was. Kamarta, one of the Nicobar Islands.
The last one is traumatized, greatly shocked and distressed. That's all about the part 1. We'll meet you in the next session with the part 2 video. If you like this video, subscribe this channel and click the bell icon. Thank you.